There are two broad measures that we look at to really see and understand how our customers view us in the marketplace. The first one we use is something called Net Promoter Score, which really is a measure of customer advocacy. Without getting into...
I really like this bank, you should bank with it as well.
Yes, yes, correct, close enough. And effectively, we've seen our Net Promoter Scores, and this is externally benchmarked by a third party, to go from number 7 in the kingdom to number 2. So we've seen a huge improvement over the last 18 months. The second area is market share. We monitor market share across a broad range of areas, and we've literally seen our market share increase in virtually every category over the last 18 months as well.
And there have been changes within the bank that the customer themselves won't necessarily see. There was the payment service hub in collaboration with Accenture. What does that sort of thing mean for the bank and for the services you can offer?
Well, ultimately, the more you can automate and modernize your infrastructure, the better your cost, the simpler your procedures, the lower chance of anything going wrong, and therefore service levels tend to go up. So we've been investing heavily in that area. Another area, for example, has been robotics. We believe we're one of the leaders in implementing robotics across the Middle East. We've got over, we call them bots, 200 bots already in the bank, dealing with, I believe it's something like 15,000 transactions per day. So we think this is another area that allow us to not only automate, but also improve service and at the same time lower our cost.
That's the kind of thing that I speak to a lot of bankers, obviously. That's the kind of thing that we always seem to end up talking about, is some of the changes that you make are going to be things customers don't see, but should make their journey easier, more efficient and quicker. What are the key challenges for the bank now and in the future? Are they all going to be focused on delivering that service as seamlessly as possible? And if you are going to do that kind of automation, what does that mean for, say, levels of employment in the bank?
I think increasingly banking is not dissimilar to many other industries. I think as automation and technology becomes a bigger and bigger part of your business, that requires different skills and different mixes. So for example, this year, despite our growth, our employments remain relatively flat. So I think we'll end up with the same or fewer jobs of better paid people. And increasingly automation and really digital technology will make it much easier for customers to self-serve and to get better levels of service.
Because that's what they'll want. I speak to people within this industry and we end up saying, right, the competition is not other banks, the competition is going to be Amazon, the competition is going to be Apple, because they are the people who are, and companies like them, who are leading the digital charge, because this comes down to what is the future of banking, what's driving the operational change, and how are you, as our RAJHI Bank, going to be able to keep ahead of that or keep on top of it?
Look, I think the companies that you mentioned as an example are exactly the right ones to look at, because what's happening is they are changing the customer experience. They don't have any legacy and they're able to redesign processes. So in many ways, we have to do that to ourselves, and this is an area that we've been spending quite a bit of time. For example, we have an innovation center, so we can see how customers interact with the technology, where do they look, what frustrations do they have, because increasingly it's the experience that really makes a difference. People expect a bank to work like Amazon. So therefore, when that experience isn't the same, they find it very frustrating, and I think in many ways they've helped the industry recognize that they need to move faster, otherwise they're going to be in a competitive
It's about quality of customer service.
Exactly. And the experience around everything you try to do.